What exactly is an equity share? An equity share is basically your piece of ownership of a company. What do I mean by that? When you own a particular share of a company, you are entitled to that much fraction of the future earnings of that company. Let me put things in perspective for you. In the good olden days, the source of wealth which a person would have was measured in terms of the amount of land he had. So the more land a person had, he was considered more wealthy based on his land holdings. As time passed, the measure of wealth moved from the amount of land a person had to the amount of cattle he had. Cattle could be in the form of cows and buffaloes, or horses and goats, or sheep. Basically, the more cattle one had, that was a measure of one's wealth. In the early 1900s, with the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, the source of wealth creation changed dramatically. From land and cattle, it moved on to industries. So if you wanted to be wealthy, if you wanted to create a lot of wealth, you needed to own those industries which were manufacturing products which were being sold on a daily basis to the common people. It is not possible for everyone to set up an industry, and that is where the ownership of these industries in the form of equity shares came into being. So if you wanted to participate in this industrial revolution, you wanted to be a part of this equity ownership, then the way you could do that is by owning a part of the company which run these industries. And how do you own a part of this company? By owning an equity share of the company. In the past few decades, no asset class has created wealth for investors or entrepreneurs as much as equities. To give you an example, if you were to look at some of the most commonly sold products around you, Nestle India, the company that owns the brand Maggi, sold close to 2,64,000 metric tons of Maggi in India in the year 2019. If you look at the all popular Bata company, they sold close to 47.25 million shoes in India in the year 2019. And it's not just about brands which are available in India. If you talk about global brands, look at a company like Coke. It is estimated that 10,000 soft drinks of Coke alone are consumed globally every second. So you can imagine that if this particular company is earning an X amount per bottle being sold, how much wealth are they creating on a second by second basis? And how by you owning an equity share of this company, you can participate in this wealth creation that is happening every second of the minute, of the hour, of the day. So when Nestle India sells crores of Maggi packets in India, they are creating a lot of wealth as a company. And how you as an investor can participate in this wealth creation is by owning a part of this company. While we will look at the various factors which affect equities as an asset class, let me show you the equity risk meter which you are all familiar with by now. If you look at the risk meter here, you will see that equity as an asset class belongs to the highest risk compared to all the other asset classes. The average returns Indian equities as an asset class, which is measured in terms of the returns which BSE Sensex has given, is 16.1% since 1978. What exactly is BSE? We will look at it in the subsequent part of the session. While the average return has been 16%, if you look at the actual returns which an investor would have earned, it varies from minus 47% all the way to plus 267%. So you can see that the kind of varied return you experience as an investor in equities is something which is not meant for the faint-hearted. Again, going back to what exactly is risk. Risk is nothing but variability in return. The more variable the return, the more risky that particular asset class is considered to be. If an asset class is giving you a return with such a range from minus 47% to plus 267% in any 1 year, so you can gauge the kind of risk associated with such an asset class. If you look at the historic returns of equity as an asset class in India for the last 10 to 12 years, if I put it in the form of a chart, you can see that markets would have fallen by 30% in a year or would have even doubled in a particular year. It is not uncommon to see that in such a short history. And that is why it is said that equity is the most riskiest of all the asset classes. Now, does that mean that you do not invest in equities or you run away from equities? No, since equities as an asset class are the ones that create the maximum wealth, what you should be doing as an investor is learning how you can manage this risk. Because when you're able to manage this risk well, that is when you will be able to get maximum out of this asset class. It's very similar to if a lot of accidents happen on the road, does that mean you don't take your car out? You will definitely take your car out, right? Because you want to reach from X place to Y place. Similarly, you want wealth creation to happen, you would definitely want to invest in the asset class like equity. There would be ups and downs in the ride, in the journey, there would be bumps ahead. But if you have the expertise to manage this, if you know how to manage the risk associated with this asset class, you will be well set on your journey to wealth creation. Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. So what are you waiting for? Go right now on the link provided in the description below and register for our course Namaste Money. This course is an online course which will teach you all the basics about your personal finances and answer the questions of where you must invest, how you must invest, and more importantly, why you must invest in a particular investment product. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for freshly brewed content from Wealth Cafe. And don't forget to save hard and invest smart.